Hello. Are we live? Can you guys hear me? See me? Do, do, do. Oh, I mean, it says it's live. All right. So, let's see here. I don't know how to do this. Fiddling around with my browser here. Try and get it to work. First time you caught a stream? That's awesome. Welcome to the group. Welcome to the stream. Got a little whiskey here tonight to celebrate that we finally got a place to start building. Hey Justin. Welcome. Solil, am I pronouncing your name right? I guess you can't tell me the right way to pronounce it. I saw the I haven't actually watched the Ken Block video all the way through. I saw some clips from the race Mach-E. It looks like it's going to be that looks really cool. Oh, hey Mudhog, welcome. Yeezy, welcome. Johnny, welcome. Yeah, vodka water. It's hard to go wrong with that. I got a little bit of... We're drinking the expensive stuff tonight, some of the Woodford. Usually I'm a Jameson guy. It's about half the price, but... I really don't like drinking before Thursdays. And usually I don't drink on Thursdays. Usually I'm a weekend drinker pretty much. But kind of, felt like celebrating tonight. All right, what time is it? Not quite time to get started. Battery is 57 kilowatt hour. Yeah, it's just I don't think he's going to try and compete with that in anything. I think it's just a demo car. I do wish I might even talk about that. I wish that Tesla would start a racing team. Maybe they'll do it for Baja, but it would be really cool for them to start working on doing racing development. It's been a very, very effective way to drive technology forward in the past. So, it's 11 a.m. on a work day. Okay, well, that's understandable. So let's see, 11. Where are you in Australia, Adam? Is that right? Am I about right there? Is that the time difference? Or are you on the other side in Europe somewhere? What time is it? 8 o'clock. Well, snow is not going to affect the Cybertruck as much as cold. So one of the things that I'm going to be really curious, and we're going to get to sort of see this year, is supposedly the new octavalve system on the Model Y, the new heat pump system, was specifically designed to enhance cold weather performance of the batteries. And so I'm going to be really interested to see what sort of range improvements we get over the Model 3 from similar battery packs in the cold that are using the older, I don't know what the older system was really. I didn't start paying attention until the last real year. But I think it's going to be pretty good compared to historically. I still lose some, but I don't think it's going to be like the 20 to 30% drop that has been happening with the prior models in in the cold weather. Oh, yep, I did get a haircut. Okay, Friday is Pioneer Day in Utah. I don't know what that is. I'm not from Utah. I love Utah. Gorgeous country, but I don't know what that is. Um, yeah, I don't think Tesla needs to do advertising, Johnny, because we're going to get into that a little bit. I'm going to talk some about the conference call, the earnings call. I don't know how many of you guys listened to it, but there was a lot of really cool information that was not about the business side, or it was about the business, but it was also alluding to other things. Of course, one of the big things was the announcement of Giga Austin. Although we kind of knew about it, it's nice to be official. And like I said in my last video, they're already starting on the land clearing side, which is what I was assuming, because you can go out and get dirt guys and land clearing guys to basically work on a time and materials basis to get started. In terms of advertising, so I don't think Tesla, again, they reiterated multiple times that demand is not the problem. The problem is batteries. Batteries. The problem is batteries. That's the constraint. They could sell more if they could produce more batteries. And we're not seeing it as much on the vehicle side as we are seeing it on the energy storage side. But the batteries are going to be what's so pivotal to increasing the volume of sales. So I don't think they need to advertise, but you're right, racing would be a great advertising for them. But what racing does a better job of is it lets them experiment with high performance ideas in an environment that's kind of the most brutal, and it gives them a lot of opportunity to see how the vehicles behave in high performance environments and how to quickly modify them and adapt them in new and innovative ways. And it's just worked. Car companies, ever since there's been car companies, have used racing as a way to drive technology advancement. And I think as they're wanting to improve the performance, not acceleration, but handling and off-road, suspension, cornering, the longevity, racing is a great environment to sort of work in that experimentally. All right, so let's see here. Okay, let's talk about Giga Texas. So I want to talk about Giga Texas or Giga Austin or Terra, Texas. And then I want to talk about some really interesting things that were referenced in the conference call that I think are of interest whether or not you're a shareholder. If you're just interested in kind of performance and how quickly am I going to get my Cybertruck and those kinds of things, I think they covered some super interesting things. So one thing I could not find was something better than this as a location for the plant. So there was a parcel of land that they have an option to purchase, and I found references to it or where it's located roughly, but I couldn't actually. I went out to Google Earth or Google Maps, and I tried to Google Giga Texas because someone had said it was popping up there, but I couldn't find it. Maybe I was searching the wrong thing. So what I did was I took this map and I took what they said in this map. So they talked about that there's a old mine and a concrete facility on the property. Elon referenced that it's on the Colorado River. We know that it's roughly in this position here. So I did some investigating. And also there was this article. Again, they didn't put an exact map on here, but they took some pictures. So, and I think I figured out where this is. I think I figured out the parcel. So they said it's about 2,000 acres. So I'm pretty sure this is it. So this is about 1,800 acres of land. And it's got this is the Colorado River right here. The airport's right over here. And they reference, so one of the photos shows power lines on this property. And you can see when you zoom in here, let's see, we can get in a little. There's some power lines running right over here. And this is a concrete plant. This stuff is old strip mining. So you can see right over here, there's an active quarry right here. Or if it's not active, it's been recently used, or an active, yeah, I'm pretty sure this is a quarry. And you can see some, what looked to me like quarry pits here, where this was quarried out and then it gradually filled in with groundwater. So I'm pretty sure this is the site. And why does it matter? It doesn't, except that I'm freaking excited that there's finally a flipping location, and they've already broke ground. They haven't broken ground. They've already started site prep, which is basically clearing trees. So they're going to have to fill in these quarries eventually. And I don't know what the law is in terms of development, but they're kind of, at some point they'll probably have to deal with them, or maybe that'll be part of their nature preserve. So anyway, okay. So your air float, has this actually been revealed? And I just had a hard time tracking it down. So if it is, I don't understand why it was so hard finding an actual map, like a link or somewhere it was actually on the site. But I did measure it off, and it wasn't quite 2,000 acres. I think it ended up being 1,700 acres. But anyway, yeah, I mean, I just think it's cool. It's cool to have like a place to think about it's actually happening. So if we look at, let's see. So, oh yeah, it does this. So last week I was just kind of penciling it out, and I had thought we would be lucky to be into production by December. But now that we're actually starting construction, I mean, yeah, they're doing land clearing, but they're probably not really going to start serious. I don't think to really start moving dirt, they're going to have to there's some work that's going to have to be done. So I think we're probably looking really at August before they can really be actively grading the site for groundbreaking. So we'll see, but I mean, that's like 2 months ahead of when I thought it was going to be. So if we think that, they got the factory built in 10 months in China, I don't think we can get it built that fast here. I hope I'm wrong. I just think things take a little bit longer here than they do in China. And so I'm hoping for 12 months. So that would put production starting by September of next year, maybe, hopefully, and hopefully fully ramped by March of 2022. And I'm thinking, based on it seems like now when they're putting a line into production, it seems like it feels like they start off with like a $200,000 unit volume as their kind of first level of building. Now, maybe I'm being overly optimistic there, and they're gonna only build the line to produce 100,000 and then they'll add a subsequent line on after the fact. Who knows? Hopefully we'll find out more. But one thing of note is someone asked them on the conference call, how many vehicles will Giga Austin produce? And of course they couldn't actually say, but they did. Elon Musk said, well, nothing now, but a lot. Not very helpful. But then the CFO said, or one of them said, I don't know who said it, said it's their biggest site. So and I'm assuming it's their biggest planned development based on all the things they're talking about. They did confirm that there is going to be battery production at Giga Texas and as well as Giga Berlin. So it sounds like they really are moving towards this battery production at every plant type of process. But they did also say that they're going to be building out of this one plant. They're going to be doing 3Y Cybertruck semi. I think that's all they said. I think that's what they said. But so it's obviously going to be massive. They're saying that it's going to supply the eastern United States for Model 3 and Model Y eventually. So I'm sure that's down the road. I'm sure Cybertruck is going to be the first thing they do. But yeah, so that's the factory. And what they're going to be, he said Model Y is going to be the first building. Are you sure? I don't think he said that. But we'll see. That doesn't make sense, because the reason I say that doesn't make sense is that they're scaling up. They're going to have 200,000 units a year in wherever in California for Model Y. But maybe, who knows? I mean, it's not my company. But I don't remember him saying that. So anyway, you believe it is across the highway. Okay. Well, yeah. It seemed like I suppose it could be. Yeah, they could be on that side too. Who knows? I tried to go. So I actually tried to go and look on the. I tried to go in like in Kansas. We can go in through property tax records and see who owns which plots of land. But if they have that system in Texas, I couldn't find it. So I was going to see if I could find like who owned all this, like if they owned by ownership, if I could tell which plots it was, and I couldn't get there. Oh, I forgot to tell you, it's my birthday today. I'm 50. So another reason. Yep, I turned 50 today. 50 years ago, the world was graced with my presence. And yeah, so I thought that I should mention that. All right. Any questions or any thoughts about let's see here. So if it's 2,100 acres, I measured this and it's like 1,700. So there must be something across the street or whatever. So yeah, I don't think there's anyone has any questions except thanks for wishing me happy birthday. The only question is I've got to check into that kind of what their construction process is there, if they're going to be doing the Model Y building first. But I guess, well, it is what it is. We'll just adjust our expectations. Okay, so let's close that. All right. Now, I'm going to try something. I think I have this sorted out where if I play something, if I play a piece of audio, you guys can hear it. I tested it out. It came through in my test, so we're gonna try it out. So the first, so for me, um, the part of interest that was the part of the conference call that was the most interesting to me was probably the discussion, the elaboration, I would say, about full self-driving. So I just did a video like a few days ago on 10 reasons why you should reserve a Cybertruck now. And one of my reasons was that once full self-driving goes live, I think it's just going to be like instantaneously people are going to be clamoring to get in line for the Cybertruck. I also think they're going to be clamoring to get other models of Tesla vehicles. But I do think that the Cybertruck is uniquely designed to be a money-making tool. And I am going to do a video about that. I'm going to talk about the Cybertruck as a moneymaker and different ways of making money. But the thing that it makes the Cybertruck just sort of fundamentally more versatile as a robotaxi is its durability. So if you have ever, been before and during the time of taxis, and I know they still exist, but you would see that they would go with, the real popular model back, in the day was the Crown Victoria, and there were zillions of them. And they essentially they were designed almost to be a fleet car that would be very durable and have easy to replace components. And also back in the day, police used them a lot too. So the Cybertruck is going to be, I believe, the most widely sought after autonomous vehicle as far as making money. And it's not just as a robotaxi. There's things that the Cybertruck can do. So as an example, in my own business, if I didn't have to leave a vehicle at a job site in order to bring my crew and my trailer back and forth, I have many jobs where the crew is on site all day. So I could actually have a Cybertruck hook up to a trailer, take it to my job site, unhook the trailer, and then the Cybertruck could keep doing other stuff. It wouldn't have to stay at the job site. And then my crew could just go to the job site, meet there. And sometimes we even do that now because we have, a long job site, like a long construction job site where we have like a site trailer and stuff like that. The point is there's going to be a bunch of different ways to make money with the Cybertruck once autonomy gets unlocked. And so I think that's going to drive the reservation count just off the charts. Oh, that's the other thing. I think I'm going to start next week I'm going to start my live stream every week by looking at the current reservation number. I think that would be kind of interesting. So we'll have a little bit of a historical log. So the first quote, all right, I hope this works. So I'm going to play this. If it doesn't work, I've got the transcript up here. We can read through it, but I'm going to play it. So let me know if you guys don't hear this.
And we continue to improve that and make it more robust. And we're currently testing full self-driving software for intersections and city streets and narrow streets. So I personally test the latest alpha build of full self-driving software when I drive my car, and it is really, I think, profoundly better than people realize. Yeah, really profoundly better. It's like amazing. So it's almost getting to the point where I can go from my house to work with no interventions, despite going through construction and widely varying situations. So this is why I'm very confident about full self-driving functionality being complete by the end of this year. It's because I'm literally driving it. In conclusion, I'd like to again say thanks for all the hard work of the Tesla team.
Okay. Now, he is saying that he is driving his personal vehicle, which he's running, I'm sure the ultra beta, whatever, I'm sure he's running the developmental program. But he is saying, this is the first time I've heard him say, my vehicle that I drive every day is almost going from my house to the Tesla, well, wherever he's going. I don't even know where he goes every day. Who knows? But he's going from point to point without touching the steering wheel. And this is the first time I have heard him quantify this level of success. I mean, I know he keeps hinting at it, but he gave a lot of color onto full self-driving. Okay, now this is actually the better one. Hey, I turned it up. Did it go up halfway? Okay, it did go up. Well, I can turn it down a little bit. I cranked it like way up because, so let me, all right. Let me go to this one. Okay. I want to set this up. This is a long one. This is like a 4-minute long clip or 3-minute long clip. And it starts with a super long pause by Elon as he considers the question. And I think the pause is important. It means he really has something to say. So I wanted to go from kind of the pause. 15. Okay.
What is your vision for software at Tesla? What opportunities do you see for monetizing the installed base other than via FSD?
Pause.
And right now, by far, FSD is just overwhelmingly the most important thing. I think the upgrading of the fleet to full self-driving, essentially with an over-the-air software update, may go down as the biggest asset value increase in history as a step change.
Okay, I'm going to continue in a second. Elon Musk, in my opinion, doesn't say something like the biggest asset change in history without he's so measured and thoughtful, and he thought so long about this comment that I just think it's important to think about that. Think about what happens to the reservation line as soon as this happens. If he's halfway true about his prediction about the appreciation of the asset. I got so motivated after listening to this, by the way, I reserved 2 more, by the way. In addition to my 2. All right, let's finish.
Maybe there's something bigger, but it certainly would be one of the biggest. I can't think of anything bigger. So overnight, $1 million, depending exactly on when it happens and when it's allowed in various regulatory jurisdictions, you'd have at least a few million cars suddenly becoming 5 times more valuable or something like that. Certainly 5 times higher utility. To go from 12 hours a week of utility, something like that, or that's how many hours are used, to 60, something like that. So everything else is pretty small by comparison. Now, when things do become full self-driving, so what are people going to do in the car? Well, I guess they're probably going to do productivity and entertainment of some kind. Watch movies, play games, and do work.
Okay, So I thought that was
But
super.
that's in the future.
So that was, to me, if there's one thing that's been consistent about the mantra of Tesla, Elon Musk, and kind of collectively as a whole, the two things they keep coming back to are batteries and full self-driving. And you get and you can even, you go back like 3-4 years, they're focused on these two things. You get a sense that they're very close to breakthroughs on both of these fronts in the very near future. That's why I think for all of us that are, in line now, I think it's exciting, and that's why I added 2 more to my reservation count, and I know several of you guys have told me that you have as many as 10. What I might personally do is, like, every 500,000 reservations, I might reserve another 2, just assuming it'll take like 2 to 3 years. And if we're totally wrong about the value or how soon before full self-driving makes its impact, then no harm, no foul. But I personally think, it's gonna be like the gold rush, like the California gold rush. Okay, so now I want to talk about something else that this is more interesting than, I don't know, I think he's talked about this enough times that I want to highlight it just because I'm fascinated by it as a Cybertruck or as a Tesla reservation holder. So I'm going to go here to 2440. And this is him talking about manufacturing and vertical integration. And I'll explain why I thought this was interesting in a second.
Across from like when the raw materials enter the factory to the finished goods exit.
Yeah.
And we're learning so much through doing that.
Yeah, vertical integration is extremely important for this.
Yeah.
But the supply chain, if you put like a GPS tracker on a molecule from...
Okay. I want to stop there. If you put a GPS tracker on every molecule that goes into a vehicle. So he's talking about, again, I'm super interested in what they're thinking about in terms of mining and the battery supply chain here specifically. So just listen to the rest of his comment in that light.
From when it got mined to when it was in a usable product, it would look insane. Like it would be like, wow, it went around the world like 6 times. So with vertical integration, maybe you can only go around the world once.
Okay, so what he's saying is, if you track every element that goes into a vehicle and you tracked it, it would go from, for instance, in batteries, it goes from like Australia to China to, I can't remember where else, and then back to China and then to the United States before it can actually become a battery. This is like the 4th or 5th time they've brought up mining. And actually, they talk about mining in a little bit further down the road. I'm just really intrigued as to whether or not they're going to do something about mining, because what he talked about doing is he talked about vertical integration is critical, 1. 2, he said, if you were successful in optimizing the supply chain, you would make it so every molecule didn't have to travel even more than once around the world. Meaning you could source things locally or relatively locally, which again makes me wonder if there isn't something coming about Tesla investing in some domestic mining and refining operations. Doesn't mean anything. No, I'm just actually really curious to see, because they keep coming back to this is the big constraint, batteries. All right, finish this.
We're not even like half a. I think if we get vertical integration, we could probably get an order of magnitude improvement. So, yeah. Jerome, you want to?
I think the focus for us.
Okay. And then the last thing I wanted to, there was a little segment here where they talked about batteries, and someone asked them about battery day. And of course, like always, they never give us anything really exciting, but they give us some, it's interesting. The comments that were made were interesting. So let's see, 3313.
Them on a minute by minute scale, and that's what we're doing.
Yeah, I mean, the real limitation on Tesla growth is cell production at an affordable price. That's the real limit. That's why we're going to talk about a lot more about this on Battery Day, because this is the fundamental scaling constraint, and any part of that supply chain or processing at the cell level will be the limiting factor. So, whatever it may be, anywhere from mining to refining, and there's many steps on the refining.
Mining and refining again.
Cathode.
He keeps talking about it.
Cell formation. Whatever the choke point is, that will set the growth rate. And so, we expect to expand our business with Panasonic, with CATL.
Okay, did you hear that? We expect to expand our business with Panasonic and CATL, and I'll
with
finish.
LG, possibly with others, and there's a lot more to say on that front on Battery Day.
So there we are. So those are. I would strongly suggest that if you're interested in sort of the inner workings, that you can skim through the transcript if you want, if you don't want to listen to the whole thing. But I personally think it's super interesting to listen to this stuff. So those were my the parts of the earnings call that specifically made me wonder what's coming up in terms of what levers are they going to try and pull to drive the costs lower. One thing I was going to mention, a lot of people have wondered about the price dropping, and does that mean there isn't enough demand? Why is Tesla doing it? This is exactly what Henry Ford did with the Model T. So he started out at around $1,000 per Model T, and he eventually got the cost of the Model T down to like $500 over 10 or 15 years. So it's a strategy, because what you want to do is you're essentially trying to choke out the competitors, because they're trying to shoot at a target as it is today. And they're going, okay, we finally figured out a way to at least break even by offering a vehicle with the credits that is close to the price of Tesla. And then they drop the price by $3,000. And they're like, oh my God, now what? It's the first person in a price war, usually it's the first person who wins a price war, because they get there in front of everyone else and they're figuring out how to make money the whole way there. And everyone else is dropping their prices, but not making money as they try and chase them. And so it's kind of a brutal competitive strategy that, it's effective. And the fact is they're making money and lowering prices. I think I would not want to try and be trying to figure out how to compete with them. Okay, let's see here. I think many cop cars will be Cybertrucks. I actually agree. Okay, I wanted to talk about accessories. Okay, anyone any questions? I don't think so. No questions really. I mean, I was just more sharing interesting stuff. I'm just looking through the chat. Yeah, I don't see anything that requires me to comment on it. So let's close this out. And so I wanted to talk a little bit about accessories. All right, I have an idea. It might be a bad idea. I don't know. But one of the things that I'm trying to figure out is whether or not we can sort of identify some accessories or features that would be of most interest to us as a group and try and bug Elon and Tesla and figure out a way to try and get these things on their radar. So supposedly they scan things like search terms and the forums. I don't know what they do. But one of the things that I was thinking about is trying to come up with a power ranking for accessories. I don't know how we'll do it. I was wondering if there was a way to vote. I don't really know. I kind of thought something that might be sort of fun is to do like a March Madness accessory battles where we took different accessories and pitted them against one another and voted one up and another one down. It's not fleshed out. It's just an idea. The problem is there's like a zillion requests out there. What I'm really interested in doing is trying to solidify the community to the extent that it can be, to try and actively bug Tesla, Elon Musk, whatever, to push things to the top. Maybe instead of bugging Tesla, we bug some of the more popular influencers that are out there that, that are maybe like Third Row Tesla podcast or somebody that maybe has some access. I don't know how to do this. I'm just spitballing. But what I was thinking about doing was I was thinking about trying to do like a okay, this is something that is really popular, but it would cost a lot of money. This is something that is really popular, but wouldn't cost a lot of money. So sort of try and use my own, I try and pre-analyze this based on feedback. So we're just going to experiment a little bit with this idea, but I think what I'll start doing is based on feedback here, and I'm frequently over, I assume everyone here has been over to the Cybertruck Owners Forum. It's a great site. And they've tried to do something like this, and I've even thought about trying to approach them and maybe collaborate on some kind of a tool that everyone could vote on. But I'm just going to start trying to figure out if there's a way we can identify the things that most people are the most excited about doing. Now, based on very casual analysis of comments, I think that the most popular one are these two right here. So the solar roof and the full pass-through. I believe these are the most popular. And then I think that my approach would be to sort of put these in tiers. And probably there would almost need to be one is something that we're hoping to get included, and one is like an accessory or an add-on. Again, I don't know. Instead of just wondering or hoping, I was trying to come up with some idea for trying to quantify, and then, everyone can go over and I don't like using Twitter. I'm not that good at it, but if we had 1,000 or 2,000 people in a 24-hour window tweeting at Elon Musk about the same thing, it probably would do something. So that's my idea, is figure out what we want the most and then try and organize a bunch of people to at once ask for something to get it moved up on the radar. Maybe it's a crappy plan. I don't know. All right. Okay. So let's see. Oh, I gotta go down. I don't know if you guys. Oop. Gotta look at the. Yeah. Well, the battery extender, I'm calling this dynamic range extension. That's what I'm calling it. We could call it, I'm open. We could call it like auxiliary battery, something like that. So yeah, maybe mess around with what we call things. But anyway, you don't have to like do anything now. I just wanted to articulate that I would like to try and figure out if there's a way we can pester Tesla right now while they're still in the developmental stage to try and get them to, add some things that we want them to add. Okay. Let's see. All right. Well, yeah, I know all you guys are going to start saying what your favorites are, but what I want to do is I want to use some polls to try and get some votes. So yeah, I got to think about how to structure this and organize it because I think it's going to branch out. One is going to be like feature requests that we're hoping they can add for free. And then there's going to be like accessories that we want them to design, but we're not really I wouldn't expect them to include a front winch for free, but I would really like it if they would have it would be nice if they would have a well-designed factory option, in my opinion. And the reason is why. I love the aftermarket, but the reason why, okay, for those of you who haven't had trucks before, you won't necessarily know this. The reason why you want them to offer this as a factory option is so you can finance it. That's why you want. What you want is, because otherwise what you end up having to do is you have to go out and it's like, oh, I can get a front brush guard bumper with a front winch on it. It's $1,200 plus $300 to install it. I can get this, I can get that, I can get this, I can get that. But if it's available from the factory at the time of purchase, or it's available through an authorized reseller that you can add it on at the time of purchase, then you can finance it. That's why it's such a big deal. It really helps you to be able to add that stuff in and spread out the payments, if you finance, which I do, Okay. Blah, 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 blah. Yeah. Floatable. I'm going to do something on the whole. My wife came up with a great name for a floatable Cybertruck, guys. The Cyberduck. I thought that was brilliant. I was like, that's great. The Cyberduck. You guys know what the ducks were? The World War II duck vehicles? If you haven't been to like up in Wisconsin Dells, other places probably do this too. They still have them. They're these old World War II amphibious vehicles that they were called ducks. And they had wheels on the bottom. They were boats with wheels on the bottom, and they would carry the troops like into shore, and they would put them up on shore. So, and I was like, Cyberduck, oh my God. That's just such a great name. All right. What else? Okay. I had one other thing. The t-shirt is officially available. I'll put a link to it. I don't even know how to do this thing. The t-shirt so basically I got the design done. I put it up on Teespring. I bought 2 of them myself. I have to pay full price because it's like a third-party company that I do it through. But it says Edgy Tree Hugger on the front, and then on the back, I don't even know how to do. What am I doing here? See, this is the problem. This is what happens when a 50-year-old tries to do streaming and shit. Anyway, the back is cool. It says bulletproof, brutalist, badass. And then it's got a little battery, a full battery. It's super cool. I will put the link on this video and then whatever else. I don't know what else I'm supposed to do with this, but it's available. And I'm the first customer. I bought 2 of them. I think they look awesome. Edgy Tree Hugger. Maybe I'm the only one that likes this t-shirt, but I like it. Makes me smile. So that's fine. It's good. Okay, I don't have anything else. Oh yeah, that's right. They do. I forgot. They do have them in Branson. Well, Cybertruck for a Humvee replacement. I am going to do a Cybertruck versus a Humvee video. I don't know what the complications would be. I would definitely think for that to happen, they would have to have the dynamic range extension feature where you could put a battery pack or a generator in the back. I would think. It seems to me. I think Baja. That's a good question. No, I don't think it can dominate Baja races unless Tesla decides they're going to do a team themselves. Then yes, I think it could. Stock vehicles are never designed to do races. Someone was mentioning Salil was talking about the Mach-E, Ken Block. Ken Block's a really famous rally race car driver. So rally racing is not the same as Baja, but they're kind of interconnected. So the everybody that is serious about doing either Baja racing or rally racing creates a team and then they mod an existing vehicle in order to race. So do I think the Cybertruck could dominate in Baja? I think if Tesla had a racing team and they actually were allowed to redesign it specifically to race Baja, I think that it would be very competitive. I'm really hoping that we're going to see electric classes appear for both rally and Baja or desert racing. And I hope we're going to see electric appear as a class on NASCAR and everything else. It would really push Tesla to have a team. And I think we're now starting to get enough. Porsche is now, they're in on electric. So we know that Porsche would have a team. Pretty sure Mercedes would have a team. I think we would see, I can't remember what the other popular rally teams are, but and Baja, it would be, Toyota, probably not. Hopefully Chevy, but Ford, I think Ford would. I think Ford potentially could. Rivian, I hope Rivian, we'll see. They might not have enough money to do a team, but I think Baja as a off-the-lot vehicle will be very capable in the Baja relative to the Raptor, relative to the Bronco, relative to Toyota TRD Pros, all of those. I think the Cybertruck, especially the Tri-Motor, will be very capable. Did you guys see Pikes Peak? What's the big YouTube channel? There's a popular, the super popular YouTube channel that does Teslas. The dad and his son. I can't remember right now, but they're sponsoring a Pikes Peak hill climb, and I think it's a Model S. Super cool. All right. I think that's it. I think that's all I have. Now you know. Thank you. Now you know. They have a guy that's going to do the Pikes Peak hill climb. I think it's a Model S or Model. Yeah, I think it's a Model S. Now everyone knows. Yeah, I think they do good. I like their channel. Okay. I think that's it, guys, for tonight. Happy birthday to me. Have a good night. We'll catch you next week.